Welcome back to part 2 of our Lab 3.25, Exploring Security Frameworks. We're going to finish the third and the fourth step of our ethical hacking package process. We're going to work on compromise, looking for vulnerabilities to assess risk and exposure. We're going to try to break into some files on Pump PLC. In the end, once we succeed, we will talk about the remediation, meaning we will set up the firewall and make sure that all the rules are implemented so we cannot do that again. So let's navigate to the lab, and we are going to start with PowerShell. So to try to break into Pump PLC, we are going to use a security framework, which is a series of defined processes used to test the security of a system and expose weaknesses it may have. For today, we're going to use Metasploit. It's one of the most commonly used, very popular package that has lots of scripts available for the software and services that are running on the network. We just need to know the version of the service. That's why we did the Quick Scan Plus. Okay. So Metasploit framework is very powerful. It does not discriminate between what you do. You can find a lot of packages there, so please use it with utmost discretion. If you're trying to do that on somebody else's live computer, please make sure that you have explicit permission to do that, because you can do a lot of damage with it. Okay, so in PowerShell, we are going to, first we're going to start the database. Like Nessus, Metasploit has a lot of scripts stored in a database. So we're going to start that first, msfdb start. So it may take a minute. Okay. msfdb db start. So we're going to fire up the database. So it loaded, and then on your computer, so it might be a little bit slower. And then we're going to log into the Metasploit, MSF console. It takes a minute, but eventually you will get some kind of graphics. Metasploit is a lot of fun. Every time you load it up, there's going to be a different graphic. That's how they just have fun with their users. But the key here is that we have our little console. We have our prompt, and MSF stands for Metasploit, and then we know we are in the right place. So from our Quick Scan Plus that we had before, okay, let's double check. This should be on your Chromebooks. We downloaded it, but what we need is this line right here. So we're going to exploit the FTP protocol, and then the service, the version that is running on our Pump PLC is this one, Pro FTPD 1.3.5. So this is why it is important. So we are going to, from Metasploit prompt, we're going to search for that version of the service. So search, and then Pro FTPD. Capitalization is not important here. So I'm going to search for that. So now we have some options. When the search came back, it has different options. We need to pick the one that we have. So we're going to look at the description, and we have a lot of versions of this Pro FTPD. The last one is 1.3.5 is the one that we need. So in order for us to use it, we're going to give the command use, and then we're going to type the name of that file. And that file is right here on the left side. You need to type exactly what you see right here. So use exploit backslash Unix slash FTP slash pro FTPD underscore mod copy, and then exec. executable file. So in the end, once you have it, you have this pop-up. Now you are in that exploit right here. You're using that particular script. We don't need to know how it works, but we do need to know what options we need to supply. How to use it. So we're going to type show options. Right. And our options, in order for us to use it, we need to supply the target address, which is our host. Okay, so we do know the IP address for our POM PLC 10205, and we also need to have the site path. Okay, normally the site path is going to be, so POM PLC, the site path, it's going to be, it will start with variable and www, and then we're going to specify which protocol it uses, which is going to be HTML. All right, so let's go ahead and type those. Okay, so we're going to set our host 10.2.05. Okay, so then we're going to set site path. This time the capitalization is important because that's how the option's working. And then backslash variable, it's a slash, variable www HTML. Slashes. Okay, so once you set those and got the confirmation that you set those correctly, all we need to do to launch the exploit, we're going to type the word exploit, and it's going to get to work. May take a minute for that to parse through everything, and here's what it returned to us. So we know that we have the FTP server, so it means that we can use the FTP service to transfer documents or grab the documents from this remote host. So in the end, we also see that as the exploit started running, now it has the command shell session 1 open, meaning that it's just waiting for your command. At this point, you literally are in the POM PLC from your own machine. So now you just can start issuing commands. So first, we're going to identify the machine just to double check where we are by using who am I command. Who am I, one word, using that command, type it in, and then it's going to give you www data. So that's where you are. And then now we're going to look for a host name. So host name, okay, it's going to come back POM PLC. That's exactly where we want it to be. And then let's go ahead and double check the IP address, even though we already know what it is. ifconfig, and then ETH, and then a 0. Please be very careful when you type those. And then it should come back with the IP address, internet address 10205. So here we are. All right, we verified that we're in there. Now we can explore some files. Let's go ahead and issue the ls command and see what files are available there. So we have chat, we have a very interesting file that is called payroll app, PHP. So if we wanted to explore further, we can try to go into that file. But what we are interested is the file that holds usernames for the users who are authorized to log into POM PLC. So we're going to use cat command to look inside that file, and then we have slash etc and then slash password. Now this file, you usually will not see it because it is going to be hidden, but every file structure on the network has those etc password file. This is where you store your user logins, usernames. All right, so once we have it, here it is. We found it. Make sure you take your screenshot, and then we know that if we wanted to pretend to be users, so here's our favorite vagrant right here. kind of like almost halfway down, like a little bit over halfway down. But we have Luke Skywalker. We have Han Solo. We have Ben Kenobi, Darth Vader, Boba Fett. So Chewbacca, Kylo Ren. We have a lot of interesting characters who are using Palm PLC. Okay, take a screenshot of that one, of this screen. This is your number 44, and drop it in here. I thought I did. All right, so let me go ahead and do that. So I have the screenshot, and I just need to, oh, here it is. This is number 39. So put it in your 39, okay? All right, so 41, we will address that in class. So the IP tables command in your notes, which is our previous lab that we did. To designate protocol used by FTP and SSH, you're going to use -p and TCP or -p SSH. To designate the port, you need to do the double dash. Unfortunately, this document, so double dash. Make sure that you do double dash because Google just automatically put those two dashes together. Okay. The source for the inbound traffic for each service, you're going to do the S, and then for FTP, we're going to use 10206, for Secure Shell 10208. And the general policy you want to create after you allow some traffic, the rest of the policy should be drop all other incoming traffic. Okay. So the next part that we're going to do is we are going to remediate. We're going into our next step. Okay. Now that we know that we're vulnerable, that somebody can remotely log in into our PAM PLC, people who have no reason to be there, we're going to close the security vulnerabilities by using the IP tables. We're going to set up our firewall again. So we need to close the Metasploit. Okay. So back on our Metasploit, we're going to do Control-C to get out of it. Abort session, yes, we want to end the session. Okay, and then we're going to exit from this because we're going to fire it up again. Terminate, yes, we're going to do that. And then we're back to our PowerShell. So minimize your PowerShell, we'll come back to it after we fix our firewall. So to do the firewall, we are going to, okay, go to PAM PLC. So from connections, we're going to open up PAM PLC, and we're going to set up our rules there. We've done that before, so let's go ahead and do that. So for PAM PLC, we're using Vagrant. Probably not. Yeah. Okay, so we'll log in there. Okay. So we are going to set up our IP tables. Okay, remember that to use IP tables, you need to be in a sudo mode. So you're going to type in front of every command sudo. We did this in the previous lab, so this should go a little bit faster. So first we're going to clear rules for all inbound traffic. IP tables, F, input. So we clear all the rules. Now we're going to allow. So what we're going to, so sudo IP tables a input m state. So what we're saying is once established the rule for port 22 for FTP and Secure Shell, we're going all the child processes of those two will be allowed. So state established, comma related, and then J. Let me make sure that you see. So J, and then accept. So that's that one big rule that we did. So now we're going to allow as secure shell traffic. So IP tables, add an input. So we're going to do what process, which is TCP. Okay. Which port? Destination port, secure shell. And then what are we going to do here? We are going to accept. Okay. So now we're going to allow FTP traffic only from pump monitor. Sudo IP tables. Adding input from a process is TCP. So destination port is FTP. Okay. What? So an FTP from where? The source S 10206. 206. And we're going to accept. Okay. And then deny all the other traffic. So that's all we're doing. We allowed the secure shell traffic, allow FTP, one way from only from pump monitor. So everything else is going to be denied. Sudo IP tables, policy. So you are creating the input. So for everything else, any other input, this is your policy, drop. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and confirm the rules. Sudo IP tables L input. So let's see all incoming traffic rules. Here we are. So we have the TCP in the SSH. We are accepting. Okay, so we don't see the FTP. Here it is. So it takes a bit. It takes a minute. And then now we're going to save the IP tables. And then save. So sudo IP tables dash save. All right, so here they are. All right, so we have our rules. And then you do not need to take a screenshot, but now that we have our rules, our firewall, we're going to go back to the secure shell and repeat the exploit that we just did with Metasploit. So we are going to go back to what we just did. So let me go ahead and backtrack to that. All right, so we are in, so we're not in MS console, so we're gonna, so we have to start again. So let's see, MS console. Did not work, so let's go ahead and load up the database again, MSFDB, start. So I'm gonna type everything that we did, MSFDB start. Okay, load up the database, so it's going to take a second, and then MS console, so MSF console. Okay, will take a minute to load. All right, once it's loaded, you can see there's a beautiful new graphics here. They always have fun with it. So now we're going to search again. So the reason why I didn't want you to close the shell is because you can basically recall everything that we did. So let's go ahead and do that search. So search, we're gonna search that one. Again, now we're going to use. Okay, so find that command for use exploit. Okay, so we got that one. Now we don't need the options. We already know what the options, so we need to get the set up the R host and sitemap. So sitepath, so host. Let's go ahead and set up the host, and then set up your sitemap. Okay, sitepath. All right, got that one, and then let's go ahead and fire up the exploit. All right. All right, so it started looking through, started the TCP request on 10.205. And if we did everything right, it should not happen. And here we are. Exploit completed, but no session created means that we were not able to connect. So our firewall worked. So we are going to take a screenshot of that. So here we are. Sorry, the wrong way. So I need a screenshot. Make sure that you clearly show that the no session was created. All right, drop that in. A screenshot, and so we have succeeded in our remediation. So we can do Control-C quit out of it, exit, and then it should give me the interrupt. Use the exit command to quit. Yes, I want to exit. And then we can close our PowerShell. We're done with PowerShell. The only thing that we need to double check is that we still can log in from our pump monitor. So let's go ahead and make sure that our firewall works. So from pump monitor, we're going to open. So let's go ahead and log in. User and password. All right, so that means our secure shell services from our lab to pump monitor still works. Okay, and then on this one, we are going to FTP to pump PLC. So FTP to 10.205. Okay, looks like we are connected to 10.05, but we need to our username and password. Here we go. User. This was Vagrant. All right. So we are good. So this is your last. This is your last screenshot that we need. So make sure that we have that showing that you did all of this from pump monitor. So that means all our rules did not interrupt our normal process. And that concludes our lab. So thank you for watching.